What's going on, everybody? It's Shane here with Nez. We're just going to be kicking off our first official Spike Week MLB Best Ball draft. Before we do that, we're gonna go over basically the basics of everything you need to know if you've never done a draft. If you have, I'm sorry, just stick with us. We'll get to the draft, which will be a dinger. Unfortunately, since we don't have the option to do a bunt, but. For any of you that don't know, this is going to be a 2022 best ball season, obviously, for MLB. The season is broken down just like it is in NFL. You have you have 4 rounds. Basically the qualifying round will bring you all the way up into Nez. If you actually want to get that on the screen, you can.
Are you seeing that right now or no? Because it says that you should.
There we are. There we are. Perfect.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So. It's basically breaking down like it is in the NFL. Same qualifiers. It's going to go from opening day, which runs April 7th. Awesome. Do the
still the old date on there.
It's still the old date. So yeah, it's going to go April 7th. So just note that on there. All the way up until I believe it's it's the 28th. So it's a week back. So note that it's not the 21st.
Yes.
And then it's going to be broken down into 3 extra weeks. It's the same thing as an NBA. In that those playoff weeks, it's going to be a 2-week length, but it's 1 scoring period. So it's 1 separate scoring period. So basically 1 week and another week will make up the one full week. For the rosters, it's pretty simple. We're just going to go with skip some. We'll scroll down there. So rosters will be outfield, infield, pitcher, and they added. We'll get to that. They added a flex spot. Real simple. You'll start 3 of each, and you'll get, I believe it's 10 bench spots, and then that new flex spot. This is new from last year. If you threw any darts into the contest last year, it's 2 extra rounds, and we added that flex spot, of course. For the scoring, it is also pretty simple. The only thing is it's for all you, if you're coming from a roto or any of your home leagues, there's no batting average, there's no whip, there's nothing you have to care. It's just simply like just point category. If you think of it like that, everything's laid out in front of there. The main thing I'll point out is batters don't accrue any negative points, so you don't have to worry about that. Guys don't get anything for striking out. The only negative points come from earned runs, which would be for your pitchers. So basically pitchers have the 5 categories and they'll get that negative spot there. What else am I missing there, Nez?
Yeah, I think you summed it up good. No, I think you summed it up pretty well. This based on all of these categories, you can type in your own auction calculator, kind of see and weight based on different projections, whatever, take your favorite projection, put these scoring categories in, and you can come up with a pretty nice little ADP list for yourself that if you have done that yet, you will see that there's a lot of variances between what some of the projection models say and what us degenerates are drafting on Underdog. And some of that's a secret, some of that's not. So it's all part of what makes this shit fun, man.
Yeah. So, and obviously it's the best ball format. So we don't get to do any moves during the season. You guys are familiar with that. Don't have to really go into that or anything like that. Like I said, we will be doing a dinger draft, $25 entry. So I think we're going to be filing that up pretty soon. If there's anything, just general thoughts. I've done about 150. So I did max the bunt. From my quick analysis, I'll just give is basically pitching. The pitching scoring is a lot lower than the hitter. So basically, the top overall pitchers are going to score just a lot less in general than the hitting, and that's just due to the scoring. Now it's going to come into play when we talk about different theories and whatnot. But that's the one main thing, or the caveat I will throw out, is that the top pitcher, I believe it projected, is about 1,300. And this is using my sheet that Nez was just talking about. Top hitter was around 1,900 or something like that, given the influx. So it's a pretty big drop in discrepancy. So
yeah, it's still important though to take the pitch, good pitchers. You're not gonna. I mean, a team could win. Like we've been talking a lot of zero pitcher. With no elite pitching. However, I could see that being a difference maker just because of the way that things are trending, where pitchers are throwing less. Now, if you're fortunate enough to get that workhorse, that could very easily put you over the edge. So, I do mix in my zero pitchers where I'm not taking any top 10 guys. However, I've got quite a few where I'm sprinkling them in the first 3 rounds, where I'm getting some guys that I think could really put up some major innings compared to some of these guys that are dart throws, but could still have good seasons nonetheless.
Yep. And if just to throw this out there, if you haven't, I bet a lot of you have, joined the Spike Week Discord. We got a lot of awesome people out there. One is Baseball, if I'm pronouncing it right. I think I do it wrong every time. It's the Spanish. It's Spanish baseball. He's come out with a lot of good data from last year's data on the Dinger. It's really good stuff. Goes on stacking. Different. Just pitcher ideal, when you should take pictures and whatnot. Granted, the small sample size, we all know that, but it's good to lean into. The one thing I think a lot of us can agree on, we want to capitalize on 2 start weeks, which is a pitcher will get, if we're lucky, we'll basically pitch twice in that scoring week, which will give us just a higher amount of points to get if they're just pitching 1. So what I've taken the approach, even if I'm getting, and we do need 1 more. So if anyone doesn't want to join this,
man, I was going to just say real quick, just to hop in. I wasn't expecting the lobby to be as full. I think now that the bunt filled up, this is starting to go a lot quicker.
We're going.
Yeah, here we go. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm glad this filled up so quick.
Rock and roll. I bet we'll see some names here.
Yeah, we got a lot of names here. I was hoping we get that influencer 101, but there's my boy Tigers. Tigers dominates football, bro. I don't know if you see Tigers' performances. This dude is a menace at football. I mean, he's taken down so many tournaments. DEFCON, I'm not familiar with. Your boy Nez right there next to Eric. That's going to be fun. We're going to be sniping each other all drafts, since the dude just uses us as the playbook. And then Moose in baseball. Nice.
And Dusty himself also, who's in the Discord.
He is nice. Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Dusty? My apologies.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, baseball's in it too. Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real good draft.
We got Snipe City with Bind for right there.
Oh, so dude, I know that's gonna be entertainment for sure. So you told me earlier you maxed out the bunt. Is that right?
I did. Yeah. So I fully maxed out the bunt. I'm still in the process with the slow drafts. So I think I got like 25 something left. So. And what I was going to tell you, this honestly might be the trickiest pick, because I know there was a discussion in there about Ohtani. It's not tricky. It's just basically you're splitting hairs with who you want here. It's like
definitely.
Yeah. And you would I kind of want either, there's certain people I want me to fall here, which is right now not going to happen if Bryce goes. Oh,
well, okay, that's fun. So who I normally take here is Bryce Harper.
Yes, I was going to say Bryce.
Any issues with that? You want to sell me on somebody else? Okay.
Bryce is my number 2 overall player, so I agree with you.
Yeah. It's hard for me not to take Bryce right now, considering how many stack options he has. His situation is very nice. We don't need to talk in depth about the number 4 pick overall, but just part of some things that I'm thinking about, and that if you are kind of new to this format, you should be thinking about. We'll get into stacking more, because I don't think it's quite something that a lot of people really have on their forefront if they aren't in the Discord with us. But I saw Dark Sheep do this. Shout out to Dark Sheep. Just pulling up guys that you draft early having their teammates ready to go, just in case you have to make that split-second decision and you have no idea who to take. That's a very nice tiebreaker just to have right on your queue for sure.
Yeah, we did that. We took Schwarber with the 3rd pick in our draft because he forgot. So I think he got, so he either got Schwarber or Hoskins in pick 28 or 30.
Oh wow! So this is you guys' fault right here, huh? This 59. That's all you guys.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, I love and I So I mean, you as well. We've been in this since is that a Logan Gilt?
Whoa, brother. Sorry, I saw that and glossed over it. Like, yeah, he's good.
So, well, I wonder if we get this draft.
I might get a refund.
So,
we'll see.
Yeah, Logan Gilbert, I'm pretty sure has an ADP of 130, which I still think is high. So
it's too. He's still too rich for you.
It's just so I put it in perspective when I was getting these people early on, and he had an ADP of 150, 160. So when most of my shares are back end of 150, and it's not that I won't take them now because I have. It's just other people have fallen, so I find myself taking them there, and that's what I was talking about with the Phillies. Is I feel like so many people now are forcing that stack, which is not a bad thing, but I honestly have three. I have three. Is that a
Oh boy! All right. Well, it's just one.
So these are two pitchers that have ADPs of past pick 100 for anyone that doesn't know.
Yeah. So Scooball is 165 ADP. Gilbert is 130. So I don't know if these are just projections gone wrong or we got a prankster on our hands, but
he listened to Bime 4 and Felix, and he heard about just taking your course, so he did. He's like, you know what? I have a feeling.
You know what? Trust that feeling.
He's like Gilbert Cy Young.
Right. Yeah. I mean, hey, Eno Cyrus likes him, so maybe there's something there. But all right, let's see what Eric does here. Sorry, I'm about to get up on the clock. I'm not ready to reach on Castellanos. I mean, personally, just because I do have a lot of Philly stacks going on, I love me some Lewis Robert. I'm not sure. Robert. Yeah, what are you feeling here?
I like Robert. Yep, it would either be Robert or Olsen for me.
Okay, yeah, I like Olsen as well. But I just love my teams. I feel a lot more confident about the outfield heavy teams.
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to touch on. Is one thing we look to be leaning on is that I think we identified it earlier on a couple of weeks back. Is zero infield was something. Zero pitcher was the talk. And then all of a sudden we looked at the ADPs and it was zero infield. And we meant that I mean, the people JT Realmuto will go and pick 150. Justin Turner at one point was in the 150s. I'm trying to think here. I'll take Willy Adames every day at that.
Hoskins started low. I mean, Hoskins started in like the 130s. Yeah. He was up there. Go ahead.
No, so it was like the people that we could get at the infield were people that all of a sudden have now skyrocketed off draft board. So we quickly identified that, which I think it's came back to earth a lot more. So but still, I agree with you 100%. I like my teams more with the way they look when it's outfield or pitcher early, and then you wait to fill up those infields. Because there's more infield spots per team. It's just
straight up. Yeah, I mean,
how the math works out.
There's literally two more than outfielders. So it's not just that the outfielders are that much better. It's just positional scarcity. It's just a little. That's all it is, and you'll see it when you're drafting. I mean, out of nowhere, we'll get a sea of green here. I mean, it'll happen. It'll definitely happen. But
every draft, that's all my slow drafts is just green or purple right up top.
Yeah, so I'm pretty tempted by the stack here. With Castellanos,
sure.
I really don't even want to overthink this. But while we got some time, so that way we're not just rushing into this next pick, I'm going to let this kind of queue up and happen.
My only other option here would be Ozzy Albies.
I honestly. I don't have a lot of Aussie, but I'm going to let the Castellanos ride just because it was a little too much.
For sure. That's just my only other option.
Yeah. Okay. Albies, I'm not quite so sold on with the ADP here. With him going, and it's really just seeing it in the rankings, in the grand scheme of things, a 28 ADP compared to a 38 ADP. I mean, 10 spots at this round, that's not that big of a deal. But I am definitely when I see him all the way up here and knowing that's what his draft capital is, man, it's really hard for me to pull the trigger on Ozzy Albies unless I have an Acuna or an Olsen start.
That's fair. That's fair. I have. It's normally a lot of the times when he does fall because he has been normally you can catch him on a 4 or 5 pick slip, and that's kind of when I have pulled the trigger,
which would be awesome. Yeah.
And he does raw projection. I think he's 14th. So in my projections,
he's got a good park. Yeah. good team around him. I mean, especially in this type of scoring. Yeah, in fantasy where it's all about the counting stats and all that. Yeah, he's a great pick. And there he goes to our boy Dusty there. So Dusty taking a interesting approach here, and he's one of 3 people here or 4 rather without an outfielder yet. But
so
go ahead.
That's something I was going to say is I've tried to, and I just could be butchering the term, so I apologize for all you watching. I like to zig when other people are zagging. I guess you could say it the other way. I don't know. When people are going one way, and right now it's been the outfield thing, and especially in the bunt, I've noticed it. I've honestly, I've been like, you know what? Let me find ways to get different because there's just so much infield here that people are passing up on, and mainly it's just because there's value. But like I've found in my slow drafts and even my last fast drafts, I've gone 5 infield to the start, and I've only taken 5. And it's just and it's like I feel so nice with my infield. It's like, and it's just like no one. I wonder how many people besides, I guess, the auto picks.
Yeah. So I will say early on, right before ADP, made its final shift, I have a lot of like hyper fragile for the Football Initiated, just 5 single outfielders. Yep. And then the rest of my team, just maybe 9-6 or 8-7-5, but just 5 outfielders. And I love doing that with infield. I have way more 5 infield teams than 5 outfield teams, but I think that, taking that high variance type of thought process into this tournament can really, really reap benefits. So I know that you are a big 9 pitcher guy. I am actually more on like the 7 side right now. Okay. I just ran through all my stuff and kind of taking a hyper fragilist approach to that point. I know that's a bit of a risk because we know how important the 2-star pitchers are. So starting to go back into the 9 range, but I really liked going like 7, I think was like a sweet spot with like some really high quality pitchers. So we're about to be on the clock here.
Yeah, I'll get to my point after, which was something you touched on. Let's see here. So
what's your thought here? Let me hear your takes because I got some ideas.
It's tough. So I mean, you could go with Wheeler if you want. I like taking the pitcher from the stack.
Interesting.
I don't know. I feel like if the offense goes off and that pitcher's going, I just feel like there's somewhat very small.
I like Wheeler.
But I like Wheeler, especially at the ADP value we just got there.
Exactly. Yeah. 11 picks after ADP. A lot of people are scared of his shoulder thing and the amount of innings he threw last year.
Isn't he? He's already thrown a bullpen.
Yes. Yeah. Like he's fine. He's fine. So you got to take advantage of whenever the news buy that. I'm about to butcher the term. I was going to say buy the news, sell the something. Anyways. Capitalize on that, man. Like we were just talking with Eric before we started. I'm a big fan, especially because dude, I'm drafting a lot of teams. So I really like taking these risks of, not, and Wheeler isn't even a risk, but like of some, like a McCullers. I stopped taking McCullers for a while and now I'm starting to pick that back up a little bit, figuring out like, okay, I can probably afford to take this guy now.
I will say, I don't like the fact that he emphasized his tendon going off of his bone. Like it literally just scares me. But take your boy, please. Honestly, I'd rather like Brian Reynolds. I'm on. You don't even have to sell me. You don't have to sell me on that. I saw you immediately go to him. I was like,
can I just ask you something, man? What do you think my exposure is to Brian Reynolds in the dinger right now?
Just the dinger? How many dingers do you have? How many dingers do you have? Do you know?
That's a good that's a good question. I think I'm at 30 dingers right now.
Okay, let's see. Who you gotta be
31.
You're not plus. Are you plus 50% on him?
It's 50%. 50.
Okay.
It's like 51% because I'm at 31 now. But it was at 50, and the one that just finished was a Reynolds draft.
That's probably how my Byron Buxton exposure is gonna.
I love that, man. I love that gamble for you.
That's literally
so smart.
It's when he gets hurt and everyone can come and I expect it. But it's just the fact that I know what the man can do when he's healthy. And if he could all I need him to do is just do one season and then I benefit. Like I benefit because his ADP was in the 60s or he was dropping to the 60s in early drafts.
I remember very well. I miss it.
One point that I wanted to mention, we were talking about basically, you were talking earlier about you were diversifying and you were getting scared. Not getting scared, but you were getting worried. You were getting off your takes. And I agreed with you. I'm like, yeah, I and the same thing. One thing that I did that for about 5 drafts, and immediately I said, okay, I'm going to do not that. I'm just going to switch up my So I didn't have any 7s. I had no 7s at one, like 80
for pitching,
bunts in.
Right?
I got 7 for 7 pitchers. I had no 7 pitchers, about 80 bunts in. I said, you know what? Let me take this around the same guys that I'm doing. I still dipped my toes in exposures in certain places, but I felt if all of a sudden I started to just overexpose myself to other people, all of my teams are just going to look whack. There's going to be no, you know what I mean? So what I did was I started to just mix up my constructions while keeping the same people in it. So I have 7 pitcher teams with like a bunch of aces. I have them with no aces. Like people are like, oh, the thing that I said that I took as a challenge. People are like, well, I need to take high heavy aces if I'm going 6 or 7. I said, you know what? Let me take stacked batters and then still only take 6, 7 mid-tier pitchers, and just if it benefits, it benefits.
Yeah, right. If you're maxing out a tournament, like, you would be kind of silly to not put in a couple teams like that you would never think of doing, because we want to draft as if we're right. We want to be confident, and we want to do that. And we want to, okay, well, now in this single draft, you take that strategy, and then, okay, well, what if you're dead wrong? Now let's have some fun. And I have a couple like that too. I was usually using the bunt to kind of get my, reverse, try to reverse myself a little bit. But I was saving the dinger for my conviction takes. And like I said, dude, look at all this green. This is all we see at the top of our queue, minus like a couple guys.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. These are, I mean, we got nothing left, but hey, it's time for us to take some infielders and maybe some pitching. But
I don't know about you, but I'm so scared of Cody Bellinger. And that's a risk thing. And there goes Eric. I've taken him simply because I'm like, if I'm taking Byron Buxton, not scared about his health, why am I scared of Cody Bellinger and possibly a rebound? No reason to. So I'm just adding him to my queue here. We got 10 seconds here.
My pick would be. You want to reach Hoskins or no?
I wouldn't.
And I don't like the pitchers right now.
Mine would be Jose Abreu.
All right.
Here.
Let's take Abreu here. Because we can get some. There's still some White Sox that we can add to our stacks. So.
That's specifically that's why I wanted to.
Yeah. So we got
and I like Jose Abreu. So
he's boring, but he's good. He's just good.
Exactly. Like and the thing is, I have to get out of my mind the like Miguel Sano is. I mean, granted, you got to look what he scored. He's not elite in the term, but like he's a great. He's the epitome of what you want in this format. Like, we don't care how many times he strikes out. Because if he hits the ball over the fence one game, we're getting 10 points for the home run, the RBI, the run, anyone else on base. Like, we don't get any of the negative points for the strikeouts. We don't get we don't get negative effects for for all that. So like those people that literally just hit, that have high exit view. I love people that can mash the ball. Like, simply you can mash.
Yeah, this contest definitely favors just like straight just power guys, but there are guys that can make their living by steals in here. For example, like Whit Merrifield here. I mean, 1482, stellar score. I mean, that's really impressive. But he also. But if you look at his WRC plus, looking at from a baseball, just watching the game and how valuable it is to his team, you look at those numbers and. They don't look that hot, so I do have, so that scares me. And I don't have a lot of Whit Merrifield because of that, I'm not so certain, I feel like that's a risky bet to make. Like, okay, Whit, like steal 40 bags for me again. Like, would you? That just seems like a tough ask for a guy like him.
Yeah. I wonder I'm checking my Whit Merrifield here in the.
So I'm on deck and
I got 3.2%. Yeah. I agree with you there. Don't have much. I like Hoskins here.
Yeah, I think Hoskins, and then I would love to start hitting some purple, but I think Hoskins just makes so much sense here. His projections are they look so good, and with all these guys around him, I mean, like take your pick. Any of these guys could end up with 100 runs and 100 ribbies. I mean, Phillies look like a lot of fun. I mean, they can't catch the ball worth a damn, but they're gonna have fun games.
Which I guess could be a
we got Wheeler for that, but hey,
I was just gonna say, which is immediately I saw Philadelphia pitchers starting to drop because one person put it on Twitter. And it's like, all right, guys, that's where the market is. So that's where like the markets of best ball are hilarious because like in just one, it only happened for a day. Like Nola, it was in pick 60s at one point. Like Wheeler was going, it was like, these guys should not be this far. This should not be this big of a value just because of one news piece that their defense is going to be terrible. Like we already knew their defense was terrible. They just, they just didn't add someone great. That's all they just
could have told you that ahead of time. But now they get Castellanos and all of a sudden he's like, oh my gosh, like we have to drop Wheeler 10 spots. Like,
it's like, wait, Castellanos isn't good. And then you put him with that. Oh no.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So who are your most exposed pitchers right now?
Great question. So I'm gonna look overall right now. So I had a ton of Josiah Gray early. I'm probably the only I will confidently say I'm probably the only reason why he's in like draft range right now, because I was just taking him all the time. Like even in like the 19th pick where I was like, God, I don't even know who to take here, but I know I want Josiah Gray. Like screw it, I'm gonna take him. Josiah Gray, and then I recently started adding in a ton of Jose Urquidy, two guys that I've taken primarily in the 20th round. And then after that, now we start to get to like the players you're probably picking is Michael Kopech at 22%, Brandon Woodruff at 19%, and he's a heavy dinger guy for me. And then third is Marcus Stroman. I got a ton of Stroman. I got him at 18% and a lot of dingers. So I love Brandon Woodruff, man. Like I hate that he plays for the Brewers because obviously Pirates fan, but that I could watch that dude pitch all day. He's masterful to me. Yeah. So I put a Cy Young bet on him every year.
That's
how about you though?
I was just gonna say that's a great pick right there. A Cy Young bet on Wheeler every year. My highest, so my top three are this is strictly in the bunt, and I'm just gonna go off the bunt exposure because I don't have many dingers yet. We're gonna fill those in. But let's see, we got a pick coming up here. Let's just plan this out quick here.
All right. Yeah. So obviously no real Muto, but
so I think our boy Moose had to go and take Frankie Montas. So that's fun. You're an awesome guy.
I absolutely do not want Luis Castillo. I don't know about you, but like you would really have to.
I would take Castillo and like pick 120.
Man, I've seen him be so hot and cold that I just like do not trust him at all. So I'm gonna put three names on the board here.
Yep.
Let's even do a fourth here. Who do you like most here? This is probably in order for me.
Most here, I like Charlie Morton.
Oh,
but
okay,
I like Max.
That.
No, you're good. I like Max Fried just as much and Verlander just as much.
All right, yeah. So Verlander, like my first few drafts, I wanted nothing to do with Verlander, and then I kind of came around to it. I'm like, you know what? I'm probably sleeping, and this is good value on Verlander.
Yep. He's 39. You got to think they're not gonna baby him. They're not gonna give him any short lead. They're just gonna go out there and if you can pitch. Mm-hmm. Like we don't care. Like we're not caring about next season. We're not caring. Like if you can go out there, and that's how I feel about a lot of these older guys. I'm treating them. It's like I feel like if they can go out there and just pitch, they're just gonna go out there and that's with Morton. Like they're just gonna be like go out there and pitch. And unless like barring any drastic like broken leg, should I say for Charlie Morton?
Oh shit! I just scared my dog.
What is this? Sorry, for a draft? No.
Right. But he likes that.
I like Morton there. But yeah, no, Verlander, another one there. I need to get past my bias probably. Trevor Rogers, you could get so low. So like,
are you in or out on Trevor Rogers?
I am at the ADP he was before.
I gotta go mute real quick, but.
Yep.
Yeah. So do you like another pitcher instead, or maybe one of these?
What about?
I'm a big Rogers guy, man. I think he's like so
masterful. Do Rogers. Let's do it.
All right. Give me 1 second. That's my bad. Let me calm my dog down. Let him know there's no intruders.
All right. So while he does that, we won't be able to. We'll just watch these picks go through, but I'll just. Well, one thing I was touching on earlier, guys, is when I was approaching pitcher, and again, I did 150, so it's going to be a lot different than if you're just throwing bullets and you want to take. But I found it that I was taking 9, and a lot of the people were, well, if you're taking 9 and if you're going to go 0 pitcher, I guess because that's normally when you're going to go 0 pitcher, you're going to end up punting it like you do. You take your 9, 8 sometimes. I found myself still taking an ace and even a couple aces, and then waiting and taking 9 back then, it could backfire, and I could have. But at the time that these drafts were going on, they just the infield late, and this was way early. This was a week to 2 weeks in. The infield that were going late, some of these people in the 130s, 150s, I legitimately didn't even have an ADP. So it was taking advantage of that, which I had to change. But predominantly, a lot of my builds in this bunt are either 8 pitcher or 9 pitcher, and a lot of them even have an ace on it. So I took a stand different than most people, and it was I still think, even with, like, if I can get a couple pitchers into the finals, like a couple aces, and then still have a couple of my back end and have 6, 7 healthy guys, and some people are rolling in and they think they're 7 are going to be able to do it, and they have a couple hurt. I'm like, I just think maybe with those pitchers, they're just going to put up more raw points, and then my batters can just get enough to help me go over the edge. That's my thought.
No, I think that makes so much sense. I mean, you gotta, you're gonna probably when you do something like that and you commit to it, I think you need to probably, I would say most likely, anticipate, probably like a less than average advance rate, and maybe something to accept. But for the caveat that, okay, I just need to get a team to the finals that has enough 2-star pitchers for me to make my money. And
I'm just trying to win money. We're just playing a game, and I'm just that's why. So one thing we had our boy Dark Sheep ask about Trevor Bauer. What are you doing about Trevor Bauer? I'll start with you.
I'm only taking him in the bunt, or I did only take him in the bunt. I did a mix of 2 different Trevor Bauer teams. One, I have a team where he's like my 7th pitcher or something like that. Like he's not a guy I need. And then I have another one where it's like, hey, this is Trevor Bauer's. God damn, I hate that guy. Crocheted for his, his revenge season, and he's like my top 2 starting pitcher. Where, all right, let's just completely, I want that variance, So that's how I've been treating him, and I have, I could tell you exactly how much Trev I have, and I have 3 Trevor Bauer teams, and and they're all bunts.
And that's and it's all to, and this is putting personal bias aside.
Sure.
I like, if it was that, I would have 0 of him. Like, if it was, but I'm trying to, like, if I think about it as like, how many people are rushing to draft Deshaun Watson in these super flex, in all these, and like, if you're rushing to draft, and we're up to pick here. So, this is where it gets a little tough for me, honestly, because these people.
So I've been sprinkling in a lot more Jared Kelenic lately, just because of his like raw ceiling. I've been adding. I don't want Lourdes Gurriel.
Nope.
No. I kind of like Rizzo, just because his environment is just insane. So I'm gonna say Kelenic or Rizzo. What's your thoughts?
Let's just go Kelenic. You already got it up there, and honestly, the reason why I want to go Kelenic is because when this ends up winning and we split this, I have I have 1 Kelenic team, 1 Jared Kelenic team. This is a guy coming from Byron Buxton. I just don't know, with everything that they added. I just don't. His price is slowly crept, and it's probably just because the people around him, and I never was doing Mariner stacks. Maybe I should just take this out of the bunt.
I got some. Okay, go ahead.
I have 5 Kelenic teams, so I have 4 actually in the dinger, which is interesting. But I don't have much Kelenic.
I like that bet. I wasn't taking him early, and then I recently started adding him in a lot because of just the way the guys changed and the way that my constructions were.
Honestly,
I do like Rizzo.
I like,
but like
Swanson.
Okay, you're big on the Braves, huh?
Yeah, so I do. I read that Stacks article that I dug into. I do like them a lot. Which would, I think
we're gonna take Dansby. We're gonna take Dansby. I'm not gonna lie. Not the biggest Dansby guy, and I could not, like, whenever I found out he hit, how many home runs did he hit last year? Like, it blew my mind that he was like over 25. I think.
Let me just look this up. And the only reason, and so I will say, I actually have all of the projections on Fangraphs downloaded, but I have them next to it. But I mainly use the bat. And for the article that I just wrote today. I'm getting the home runs up here as I do this. The
Mhm.
article that I wrote and that's out today on Spike Week, it's this top 5 stacks article, talks about basically he's 20 points, like total points behind Austin Riley, who's going at 50. Basically, he's going in the 50s, mid 50s, and
that's really interesting.
Swanson's going 123. He's ahead of Ozuna in points.
That makes sense to me.
So like, yeah. I mean, it's just I've been identifying those people right there, like in those areas that have just been dominated. They and I just basically have a little column. It just shows their discrepancy. And he's at the top, besides the people at the way bottom, like the Gene Seguros and Colton Longs of the world. But yeah, so that's one little interesting piece about Swanson that I just personally like, and I've been doing so many Brave stacks. Like,
have you?
So like, if I were to get that sheet up,
let me ask you about a guy who just went here, Adam Duvall. I really like. I have to pop like 3 times whenever I take Adam Duvall. The dude just doesn't take walks. I really feel like his home run total last year is a total fluke. Are you like high on him, or what's your take on Duvall? Because I only take him if I've got like 5 other Braves.
For the other, so it comes into terms for the other options around outfield there. He's decent, and in terms of his stack options, he's the second best outfielder. He's the second best outfielder in terms of like ADP, because he's only 50 points behind Ozuna, but like 100 or about like 40 picks less than him.
So as far as like his value goes, right?
Yeah. So as far as value, I like him. Yeah, I like him in terms of that, and I have been taking quite a bit of them.
Baseball here, working on a little Royals.
12.7. I have 12%, so 13% of them, and there was 27 home runs for Swanson. So
27 for that guy, man. Like
I mean, I won't get into that now, but I was just gonna go check up Adam Duvall. But yeah, no, I like Adam Duvall. I think with the lineup there, it's all about lineup for me, and it's not all about that, but I mean, it's a big factor when you have the people hitting around you, and he's not playing for was he playing for the Marlins before he got traded there?
Yeah.
And he was still smashing. Like the reason he was smashing in Marlins, and I would say Braves as an upgrade. So I would think he still could. I mean, maybe he's not going to give you anything in terms of like you said, maybe the walks or the batting average or anything
definitely
like that.
Not. But definitely not. But I want some walks.
I think he could. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm not going to say no. Yeah, I don't know if 38 home runs is in the realm from him again, but who knows? Like,
all right. So 30? I think we lost Real Muth. No, we didn't. Okay, I just took him off cue. Gotcha. Well, I don't want to take him yet personally. And I mean, stack equity is fun and all that, but I think we can do a little better than that right now. So yeah. Eric's up. I'm a big Jared Walsh guy. I just think that he is legit and has a very nice team around him. Okay. And Eric's working on his secondary Philly stack. Good for you, brother.
There we go, Eric. He's like, well, since he's not going to come around to us.
Nice pick.
But you'll have to sell me on Walsh. I'm scared of him against lefties because his batting average is
okay. Second favorite.
I'm scared of a platoon. No, you can. I'm getting. For me, it would be Willie Adames. No, like all day.
I love that pick. I'm doing it because I have a lot of Willie. I gladly take him again.
So the Braves, the end of the draft Braves, you're gonna laugh. I have a lot of Colton Wong.
Or you mean Brewers, of course.
Yeah, sorry, Brewers. We were talking about Braves. I had that in my mind.
You said Braves. BR.
Yep. I have a lot of Colton Wong, Luis Urias, and Rowdy Tellez. I have a lot.
Love you.
Like I
like Tellez. I have a Yelich team with Tellez, but otherwise I don't take him. But Urias is like the best kept secret in this draft. Like he goes undrafted almost every time.
And everyone's scared because he got a quad injury, and I get it. He has an injury, and like I'm not a proponent of
fun. Yeah.
If he got injured in the season, I'm not going to invest anything into him now because he's like, okay, well, what happens when he's healthy in a month and then he dominates for the rest of the season? Like we don't know how he's going to do in the playoffs or if when is available. Exactly. Like he just has he's a day-to-day injury. Yeah, he's a day-to-day injury 2 weeks before the season. Like why would if you're going to write him off, that's where I want to go draft more. Exactly.
No one's
going to have this guy.
Yeah, he's absolutely free.
So yeah, I've been, and this comes in here, so we'll wait here.
Okay, so Hap has been interesting me, but I don't really like him here, and I think I might just go Walsh just because like I've wanted him before. Let's take him again, get that value. I mean, that I love just seeing a 25 pick value on my screen whenever it's my guy. Like that that's always fun to see. So nice bet.
Yeah, I like that. If you can, I mean, I'll take that. That's what I've been doing. That's mainly been where I've been getting my exposures to people.
Yeah.
It's just simply if it's their value. And these slow drafts have been weird. It's like all of a sudden there's like people. No, everyone's like, oh, he's dropping. Well, I'm not going to click his name. It's like 20 picks later, he's still there, and I'm like, well, I was going to pick you 3 rounds ago, so here we go. Like, but yeah,
we got
crazy.
a lot of late options here, and I mean, it's not like we need to hide this. I mean, I love picking Gene Segura late. I mean, he will absolutely be there for us. I'm so upset that there's some rookies here that are missing that I'm a little upset about. I would love to get a little sneaky Bryson Stott.
I was just going to say it's Bryce's.
Awesome.
Yeah. Dude, he has a chance to make that opening day roster. What is his OPS right now? I saw a tweet that kid's OPS was like 120 at one point.
They got a good thing going over there in Philly, man. I'm telling you.
Goodness gracious.
Good organization.
Yeah. Hey, could we? I'll take any of that in the good old Twinkie territory here. Goodness, all our guys get hurt, and then it takes them 10 years to get up here, and then they're 30 by the time it happens.
Who's your team?
Twins. Here, we'll just stand up and I'll just show you we gotta here. Can you see it? Denard Span.
No. No. Go to your left.
Yeah, you're not gonna
that's
a terrible angle. I don't even know how to turn it, but yeah, it's a old Twinkie Denard Span.
That's sick.
Yeah, big Twinkies guy. That's why I'm hurt that
I'm
we're just
surprised you weren't like screaming for Carlos Correa. Are you like are you having a lot of him right now or no?
So this is where I have taken advantage of these free agents to the point where I almost stopped taking them because of how much they're 80. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I have 4 Philly stacks with Real Muto in 180, Schwarber in the 100, and Castellanos in the 40. And I have 3 other picks in between. Just the first Bryce Harper and my Castellanos is my 4th.
That's awesome.
So that's why I'm like these people are going to be picking Philly stacks. Like if I can get, and I know I have to get them through, but if I can get them through, how is that team not going to beat your Philly stack where all of a sudden you just took, like, there's people I saw taking Philly, and I'm like,
I would be typically inclined to agree with you, but I think that at any point when you draft during these, there's a guy who is like, there's insane value no matter at what point you do these drafts. And I haven't really gotten to game theory when it comes to that. There's no guys that have jumped or jumped so much that like I can't take you anymore. Maybe subconsciously I am, but as far as that goes, like if I start off and I get a good Philly stack, I'm taking it. So here,
5-4. Okay, I Snipe City with this guy.
Unbelievable.
Snipe City with
Unbelievable. So I'm between McCullers and Pablo. You have a preference here? Would you like to sell me on somebody else? I'm probably going to lean Pablo. I'm not going to lie.
Pablo, yeah. I have. Okay. If I can say one thing, I am so out on Lance McCullers, and when he comes back and beats me and wins you the first place prize, you know what? It's my fault. But like, dude, his quote. Back, like he was like, yeah, they really didn't. They played it off. It was much worse than it was. Like my tendon literally came off my bone.
Yeah, you never want to hear that. Never want to hear that.
And I'm just like, oh, okay. And this is a dude that just threw them his most amount of pitches ever. So I'm just like, he's coming off his biggest workload. Like,
yeah,
we don't know
dude,
how, and it wasn't even that much.
That.
It wasn't even that much. So. That's why I'm just like I'm just scared.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Especially if your focus is on like you want your 2-start guys. Lance McCullers is probably not a 2-start guy just based on his health from last year. They will probably how often is he going to be an opportunity to have? And
he doesn't go deep. So, he doesn't go that deep into games, and like the scoring statistics. What I guess we didn't touch on is. It's 3 of them are focused in terms of distance in a way where it's innings pitched is simply the metric of distance, wins and then quality start. So it's like, that's why
So
Ooh.
I got Hayes here, but like I can't do that right now, just the way that this team looks, and I love the pitchers in this
I
range.
like
So
John Gray.
same, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Gray in
Yep.
Texas can be a nice little turnaround spot for him. I'm at average exposure on Gray. I would say it's probably like a 8 or 9% for me right now, so I can always afford to
I got
sprinkle some
quite
more
a bit of
John Gray in there.
Yeah. So my most exposed pitchers actually was who Binefor just took, Patrick Sandoval.
Nice. Okay.
And then Eduardo Rodriguez and Frankie Montes. But Patrick
Okay.
Sandoval by a long shot. Like he might be my highest exposed player in the entire bunt.
What's he at for you?
Right now he's at 27, and that's
pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna. Mine aren't that high compared to, I guess, because like I've tried to dilute, and tried to like but again, this is with the slows, and I'm slowly starting to just go, all right, my guys, and just take them again. You know what I mean? Like I've taken a little bit of mixer, but I'm like, I know who I want. Actually, one of my last bunts. Let me just read this off for anyone that wants to hear this funny little thing. I think our boy CTL Go Blue was in this one. It was a
young
nice
shot.
little rake
He's in the chat.
Yeah, I gave him a nice little rake for this one.
Why? What'd you do?
Oh, everyone was just bashing the 6-pitcher start to go. I'm talking six in a row. So I'm like, let me do it. Let me just get one of them.
You got to.
And then it was only because of the ADP that fell. So it was DeGrom Burns at the 12 or the 1-2, 12, 13. Okay. Ray fell to the next to the third round. So I got Ray, Wheeler, and then Urias fell. So I got Urias, who I have not like barely any of them. Like if I'm going to get him, might as well get him in that build, I guess. And then I took him. Yeah, and then I got Jose Barrios. So I just took DeGrom, Burns, Robbie Ray, Wheeler, Julio Urias. Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Urias?
I think it's Urias, yeah.
And then Jose Barrios. Just because I'm a Twinkie fan, and I think that he's he can K people up. But I should have took Gausman after. I was like, oh no, I should have took Gausman. I like Gausman more than him. So
do I, man. So do I. I like him a lot better than him, and I've been having to like just reverse myself a little bit, but I just think Gausman is just so much more put together as
fourth
a pitcher.
Exposed pitcher for me.
Nice. Yep. Yeah. The fact that he's in the AL East, I really hate, but I think that he's just so filthy. Like I just like taking guys that I really like to watch pitch.
Well,
Gausman, I love watching him pitch.
So, like if you want to talk about game theory and you want to get into like just some weird things, the people going to like the teams going to Toronto, Toronto pitchers might not have to face half of these people because we don't know who's unvaccinated or not.
You're absolutely right, man.
And so it's like it's a legitimate thing that now is coming into play is like, and it's not just AL East, it's just anyone that goes there. Like,
yeah, because New York is safe. They're safe in New York now, I think.
Exactly. And opposing players in New York could have already played. It was a weird rule. It's like the home people couldn't play, but if you were an opposing unvaxxed player, you could still play.
What? Because it's an employee thing. That's right.
Yep.
I knew that.
Yep. So I've been mixing in Luis Severino.
Okay, I like that.
It's ugly, but it's like what happens when he pays off. Yeah,
that's smart, man. That's everything we're talking about, and nobody wants to pick him because I mean, good reason.
It doesn't look good.
He doesn't throw the lot, but oh god, he's good.
He's got the line. Okay, the park obviously isn't great, but he's got the lineup to back him, and like. It's just we've seen it from them before. We understand, and that's my only thing. It's like and I sound like a hypocrite because there's people I'm like I'm totally out on, but it's like those are just my take. I'm just gonna be out and I'm gonna be in. It's like who I've been just feeling and just like and just reading up on. So, but yeah, I'm very much so in on Severino. It's just a nice value. What is it?
Yeah,
16, 17?
He's throwing now.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he threw a BP or a full spring training game already. I think he said he felt no setbacks.
Yeah, I can't confirm that, but I know that I'm going to take a shot on him. He's healthy now. I'll take a shot on him. And there goes Joe Ryan. I probably shouldn't have had him queued up. That was my bad. But are you excited for Joe Ryan? Do you have a lot of him as a Twins fan?
Yeah. So that's I've been having to temper And that I'll get onto that free agent thing. But yeah, I have a lot of Joe Ryan.
What about your boy Bailey?
Bailey Ober. Yeah, I got a lot of them. Let's see.
That's fun though. I mean, you got to have a lot of the guys that you're going to be watching every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why I have so much to know.
So fun.
It's terrible.
Do you,
that guy
knows a lot of Miguel.
So much Miguel.
I feel like
22% Miguel Sano. He's free. He's free. He's going in like the. He's sometimes
he could have like 30 bombs. You're right.
Yeah. And that's my only thing is the dude. He dropped 20 pounds. I'm on the. Dude. I'm team weight loss. Let's go.
Best shape of his life.
Let's go. We've only heard that four seasons in a row.
Just went.
I guess we never explained that. So
yeah. So I'm feeling a little Andrew Vaughn here to round out our White Sox.
I'm not scared about the injury.
We
already talked about that. Yeah.
It's a hit pointer.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate that they had to bring the card out.
Don't have him play outfield. Just why is he playing outfield?
Right. Just DH, baby. That's what.
Or first, just come on. Why are we doing this?
I like that he's got the outfield eligibility, but
it's funny because like when I came in, I thought a lot of the DHs were going to be infielders, so I just totally switch up my projections.
I'm glad they didn't do that. Yeah. That was very cool of Underdog to not flood infield even more.
Yeah, which is smart. Now that you think that, it makes a lot of sense. So one thing that I didn't touch on, or maybe I did. I think we got interrupted from our picks was. When we were talking about free agency, I took so much shots on the uncertainty. I took the Eric route. Like I'm just taking bets on just like where people are scared and uncertain. Like that's where all the value for me lies. And that's where it lied at one point. And that's where I was really, I was doing 5 drafts at a time, 0 infield. Like, the ADPs were so bad. Like I tell you now, people, JT Realmuto, like it was near pick 200. Like O'Neal Cruz, your boy, went in the 17th.
Damn right, baby. Damn right.
Goodness. Sheep is rolling over right now.
Oh,
he is not having that.
He can't stand it.
But no, I took so much of these free agents, and it was simply for the fact that like there was nothing for them to do in my mind unless you went to Oakland. Which who's going to sign with Oakland? Like they're not signing. So I just simply like okay. Like mostly, even regardless if it's a negative park, like if it's a downgrade, you're most likely still people are just gonna go, oh, he's on this team. He's another stack up. He rises up the draft board. And that's what all these people have done. So it's like, I honestly I go back and look and I'm just like, these ADPs are hilarious. Like it's just that I took advantage of those free agents that have all skyrocketed. Yeah. And it's just, that's why a lot of my team, like it's just, I do have a lot of Carlos Correa when you ask that.
Yeah, him and Seager,
15%.
So. I love where they're at. Every time I'm drafting, they're always like, especially if it's 0 infield, I'm like, come to Papa. Like you can.
Story was in that
you can play
ADP range at one point. Remember that?
Yeah. People didn't like the way he played the last season in Colorado, but I feel like he was hurt that year.
Exactly.
Like he was hurt last year.
It's tough. And that's, it is tough to figure out, like, are you hurt? Is it just hurt? Is he hurt? And that's the performance. Is it the performance? And that's what it's going to be. Cause now he's hurt and he had to compensate. It's just like,
I feel like he's going to mash there though. I mean, who doesn't? It's Fenway, who doesn't?
His batted ball data, like he's going to lose home runs, but he's going to mash off the monster. Just
doubles play in Underdog. They play big time.
Yeah, when he's hitting 2 doubles a game with a couple ribbies, I'll take it. It's simple.
Yeah, so it's interesting that like a hit and somewhat off topic is that a hit and a walk are 3 points, and then the stolen base is only 4. That definitely. We see it play out here where I would like a little bit more emphasis on the steal, but that's just the way that. It makes sense. That would probably be pretty nuanced to have to, project for something that's pretty that can be noisy. But
that's true.
That's just a thought that I was having. Nate Lowe, great pick.
I
love Nate Lowe. I'm a little upset
I'm gonna have to look at his team.
We don't got infielders. Yeah, I'll pull up the draft board after this. So we're 6-5-6 right now. We kind of have a little bit of everything. I'm not really sweating any position. This is where I just turn on purple and you take a picture here. I'll take a picture next one. How about that? All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just take Cobb here. I'd like Cobb in San
Well,
Francisco.
now I have to figure out a new pitcher.
Sorry, brother.
You're good.
Love me some Cobb, and yeah, I would like to
Yeah.
get to at least 8 here, and you could probably talk me into 9 pitchers here since I'm drafting with Mr. 9 pitchers himself.
Yeah, and yeah, it's tough. I've been doing it less. The more 9 pitchers I have been doing lately have been the true 0, and then earlier we're with the ace. So it is tough. I do like 8. 8 is definitely my more. No, wouldn't that be a galaxy brain? Ever someone drafting Kyle Seager, just knowing he's coming back to the Rangers or something like that.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
Oopsie daisy. Okay, and let me just get like Urias up there. There we go. Just in case an 866 can, because you could entice me into taking 6 here. I mean, I like the infielders we have, but typically when I look at these guys, if I have, and my brain does the own little math based on the headshots that I've seen, and I kind of want to take a 6th infielder, but you could probably talk me into 9 pitchers considering we have Severino on here, and he's pretty, and Pablo as well. These guys are pretty risky.
So let's see here. I think we take another pitcher here.
Yeah. Any names that you want me to scroll down for?
So here. We don't want to do that. No, I won't even. I'm just gonna get off that. I like Flexen. I do.
I don't have any Flexen yet. Really?
I like Flexen. I like Mitch Keller.
Oh, I can't, bro.
I love Tony Gonsolin.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I hope I can get it in time. Let's do it. He's. They say he might be the number 5. I love.
You want to talk about? You want to talk about
any
just
of
going all in?
I don't have any of them, man.
13% Tony
Love
Gonsolin.
It. I love that.
I'm so scared. So scared of him. Like,
probably should be, but
I listen to a lot of different, I listen to Rates and Barrels. I listen to CBS. So again, guys, I am not a tout. I listen to a lot of other people. Like a lot of my takes are regurgitated. Like the things I've been saying of mine in this format are mine. But like the baseball aspect stats, there's people that are much better that have been doing it. They're much older that have been doing it for. Yeah. So, So when I was going and I'm looking at Tony Gonsolin, I remember that he didn't when he pitched, he was just. I mean, he was absolutely dominant. He had. And the only reason why he didn't pitch was because of the options that they had. And I get that, Dustin May is coming back, but we don't know when. We don't know what he's like, if they're just going to immediately throw him in there to just go be, you don't just throw a young guy back and just give him innings. You work him in, you know what I mean? You don't just give him the workload. But it's like when he was in there, he was doing very well. Like he had a 3.23 ERA in 55 innings pitched with a 27 K rate. Like it's not terrible.
Yeah,
for the fifth starter.
That was mostly that was a lot in relief, was it not?
There was some starts. If I'm looking at this, he did. It wasn't much. Yeah, so he went 4-1. Like again, very, very did not much innings. But when he pitched, and then when he pitched the years before, he's been effective. Yeah, and it's just I've been talking with Sheep and I've been talking with Dusty, and it's just guys. It's a really simple thing. It's guys that I think are barely going to be drafted in the entire tournament.
Yeah,
I would love to get exposure to them because then not only am I getting leverage, no one's even going to have them. So even the other people that'll have them, I don't have to worry about. And then if he does nothing, then it's like, well, I guess I'm screwed a little bit, but it's a 20th round pick. So
exactly right. And like I said, we're in this app all day, all night. Like I'm not worried about one team getting scorned on Tony Gonzo. Like I'm going to have a lot of these. So
and the same thing when we were having that O'Neal Cruz take. Like I was all on it. I like the safe guys too, but I also love to take me a guy that could just win Rookie of the Year. You know what I mean? If he puts it all together. I like making those bets. I like it.
Dude, the power he has is just like that. That'll play. That's going to play in the major leagues very well, and he's going to be unlike anything I've ever seen as a Pirate. Every time I see half his home runs I've seen him hit have been on one knee. I mean,
he's out
6'7",
of the zone.
Come on, now they just need to keep him at shortstop. Yeah. It's incredible. So now that we're kind of coming up here on our last pick, Any pitchers that you would like for the 9 spot? Because otherwise, I'm sorry.
I like going.
That flex spot, it really has me like
Yeah,
wanting.
no, I like going. I've been doing. I will say 8. I have more 8s. Like 8 is my big build. I have like 50 or like 68 teams. So I like going either Segura or Urias here, whatever one you like.
All right. Well, let me just take a quick gander at pitchers here. The only one that I would probably do is Urquidy, but I've just been taking him a ton. So I think I'm going to do Urias here. I think, a guy like you had just mentioned, I don't think he's going to be drafted a lot. And that kind of, you get a nice little Milwaukee infield here. They got a nice small little ballpark.
Who did Eric just take right before us?
Alicia Hernandez.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, he had some really good results. I don't know anything about his periffs, but I remember taking him in some season long stuff where he had like a streamer,
And the draft's totally done, and I got you totally off thought, but I saw that and I immediately thought of the other up and coming pitcher for them,
Cabrera.
Yeah, Edward Cabrera. Is he going to be up?
I don't know if he's going to be up. However, I sprinkle him in sometimes.
It's interesting.
Yeah, here's the old Fangraphs page for that player here. So 26 years old. But he had a strong stretch there for a minute. That's right. It was the 2020 where a 3.8 FIP. A little bit of an outlier. But if you're a big FIP guy, it's worth a shot. He plays in Miami. It's a pretty pitcher friendly ballpark.
Miami and their pitchers, man. Certain teams with pitchers. If you're if Miami Marlin, Tampa Bay Ray, San Francisco Giant, I'm like, okay, I'm in. They're going to do something with them.
Yeah, even though they got the humidors everywhere, which is like interesting. I don't quite know how that's going to be affected, but we'll see. So let's round out our draft here. So started off with the with 4 out of our first 5 picks with outfielders here, ensuring our Philly stack, adding 2 of my favorites here with Robert and Reynolds, and then sprinkling in our pitcher there to kind of give us that anchor guy, hopefully. Added in our variety here. I really like how we ended up with this team, man. I'm a big fan. Got to be honest.
A little mix of mine and yours, and just simply mix of who we've grabbing together. So I like
this. I like when I'm drafting like this and not like, well, I don't have a lot of this guy. I don't do that often, but when I do that, it's not as fun as like calling your shots. Of course.
I guess if we wanted to pull what they did, what Eric and Pete did, we should have just drafted someone at the 104, just totally random and like, let's just get a unique combo. But no,
right? I'm sorry.
With Harper there, he's my number 2, technically Vad's 3, and it all just comes from my little sheet, but and it's splitting hairs, so it's whatever you want. But yeah, I like Harper a lot there. So
yeah, I really like how we ended up here. 8-6-6 with a lot of little mini stacks going on. The mini stacks I think are very, very, very fun. Let's look at Eric's team here. So went very outfield heavy. Started with the Mookie, Jordan, and JD.
He took my boy Paul Goldschmidt. His boy, I should say. He's the Cardinal fan.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of Goldschmidt. That's definitely like a blind spot for me. But it's really hard for me to get to Goldschmidt where he does go. But when you start off three outfielders, it's a little easier to stomach. And his first pitcher off the board, Joe Musgrove, my boy, former Pirate, really like that pick. I think his ADP and Hughes, respectively, are both a little. You could probably bump them up a little bit higher. It's hard just based on the way that you have to draft, but I just think that they're great picks. Personally,
I take them over. For sure, and I like them over Lynn. So over Lance Lynn, who went a couple picks ahead of him. So
yeah. I have trouble with Lance Lynn. I know he's good, but I have trouble taking him for whatever reason.
They didn't give him the leash.
So he goes Eduardo Rodriguez, another guy with a nice park. Yeah. Pretty nice team here. A lot of guys we were looking at too. So he ends up
was listening in.
I'm gonna have to pull up the draft that we just did. And then that way we can more easily see. Well, I guess that's not going to happen. That way we could easily see what he had there. I'm not sure what his final team looked like as far as like construction wise. Okay, here we go. There's Eric 866 as well. Okay. Yeah, he took the risk on Luzardo there. I don't have a ton of Luzardo. I just started to add him in because you guys are so excited about him. But man, I really, really think this dude's cooked. But I'll take him. It's a 20th pick most often than not.
Yep, that's what he's been for me too, and it's simply for the fact that what he was, what they're, you know what I mean, like what he, and it's if he pays off, it's most likely pretty big, and if he doesn't, it's a 20th round pick. So
yeah, I mean, a guy with like that type of track record, as a prospect, that's you can always those are the type of bets that you should be taking in these drafts. So
sure.
as far as working through that, Brian Hayes, great pick there, love Key. And then just a stud cast of outfielders here. So I really like doing this as well. Like when your sixth outfielder is Dylan Carlson, like that's a very very stacked outfield. But and taking Bellinger at the value, and now he's not going to break him. He doesn't need him to do a whole lot in the outfield position. So good job, Eric. You've clearly been paying attention to us smart guys. But and then that guy woke up, by the way. The one that was taking. Yeah,
I was just gonna ask you. Gilbert. Can we check out our friend at the local Gilbert?
Yeah. So he after these two picks.
Those are great picks if you're not taking them in the round 1 and 2.
Oh man, I know he woke up though. Is the thing like he ended up taking Aloy like
Cattell, from us. Right?
Yeah, he took Cattell. Like he actually knew what he was doing.
Good Cattell team, man.
I have no idea what he was thinking there.
I wish if you're somehow in here, could you confirm that you were somehow on auto pick?
Yeah,
or
are
something.
You ranked? Like you just got these guys.
Are you a time traveler and we don't know something? And like they're about to be runner like Cy Young and runner up. Like what's about to happen?
Hey, Listen. Otherwise, though, I mean, like that could still be a decent team, despite that. That's what I love about baseball, man. I swear
that's very true.
There's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of value that can be had here that can just and anything can happen in this stuff. Like guys can just come out and provide you with so much value. It's a lot of fun. It's a grind, but it's a lot of fun. So
yeah. Well, thank you. I think that's gonna probably wrap us up here.
I think so.
With this. So thank you everyone for joining here. I believe we are going to do 1 or 2 more of these, depending on basically
us, man,
how fast they're feeling and the demand for it. But yeah, I think we got another one coming later in the week. We'll let you guys know, but
definitely.
But otherwise, yeah, we are good to go. Make sure to check out Nez's Twitter. Nez, if you want to give that, I don't know.
Yeah, please do. I am Nez Takes on Twitter, just how it sounds. Go ahead and check me out there. I got a couple videos on YouTube. They're pretty much beginner stuff, but if you want to just listen to somebody talk about Underdog Best Ball, I got some stuff on there. I'm going to put some more, and thank you Baseball for the PNC compliment, but I got another video coming out soon. So hopefully get that up before the dinger fills. I got a busy schedule, but yeah, this was awesome, man. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah. And make sure check out Spike Week. We got more MLB content that just rolled out, stuff that's out there. And come join the Discord with us. It's popping literally every second. There's talking in every channel, especially the baseball. Yeah. We'd love to have in here. So yeah,
we're in there.
Thanks everyone. Have a wonderful night, guys.
See you guys.
Peace.